and do the screenshot share. If you can just quickly confirm with me that you can see there. Anyone can just send me a thumbs up or show me a thumbs up. If you can see that, thank you, Melanie, then we're good to go. So today we're talking about the blueprint, something that I'm particularly excited about because I've seen the incredible results a blueprint give a person. Now, normally when I speak about the blueprint, I take everyone through the 12-step offer design process or the 12-step product design process. And I've noticed over the years, it can really overwhelm people if it's a new concept for them. So today I'm going to give you more of a bird's eye overview of what the blueprint can do for your business. I'll give you some examples of what on earth I'm talking about, because some people would go, what blueprint are you talking about? I'll show you some great examples. And then I also have a checklist here for those of you who's already developed a blueprint so that you can go through that checklist and tick basically if you have looked at all the aspects of your blueprint and if you've been able to optimize that blueprint so that you can have the ultimate benefit of it. So first off, for those of you who don't know me, most of you on this call know me, but I normally just go through the slide for those of you who watch the recording afterwards. And the reason why I do it is because there's so many issues out there in the market with credibility at the moment. There's so much information going around that's not necessarily helpful for people. And it seems we now, especially in the buying online courses culture, and people are just buying stuff left, right, and center, and it's not necessarily serving them. So my name is Landi Jac. I am the Global Director of Worldwide Business Intelligence, which is a company that brings to you credible and accredited business intelligence. Just last year, we won the APAC Eco Conscious Leadership Award. That means that we do business with a conscious, and that means we don't just bring crack to the table of information because we can. We make sure what we share with you has been tried and tested in our own business with our own clients, so that if you apply it in your business and life, you know that it's going to work for you. We also won the President's Award last year. All the information that you'll hear here today is certified and accredited by Education Alliance Finland, and especially the Finnish country, Finland, the country has now got the best educational systems in the world. So we specifically went for an accreditation through them so that you know you get quality. We're also a CPD points provider. So if any of you sit on this and you want CPD points for your industry, every hour of material you consume from us will give you 1 CPD point or more, depending on your industry. So this information comes from our Octopus EdTech platform. It's part of the company called Worldwide Business Intelligence, which is all this business technology and all this mindset technology you see in front of us. We probably now have over 100 trademark technologies, and it's growing every day. In the middle there, you see Oki, the octopus, which is our mascot, which we love dearly because he has 9 brains, which means lots of intelligence, 3 hearts, which means he really loves people, including you, and blue blood, which is about, you know, creating royalty and prosperity in your life. So that's enough about me and Worldwide Business Intelligence. Let's now look at the massive value of a blueprint. Why is it important that you really want to take out some time, maybe go to a lovely venue? If you're in lockdown still, you can't get out, have a beautiful view in front of you, and take the time to actually go and develop a blueprint for yourself. Now, this blueprint is going to bring you a lot of value. It might take some time, but ultimately it will make you number one. So here's an example of a blueprint. This is the blueprint for Worldwide Business Intelligence, and especially for our EdTech platform. So what this blueprint does and the value that this blueprint brings, and I'm going to make it super practical. You know, if I am speaking from stage, or I'm at a networking event, or I'm sitting at dinner and I'm having a wine, and people say, look, what is Worldwide Business Intelligence? Or the more mundane question, what do you do? You know, I can sit there and I can do my elevator speech, and I can put on my fake smile and bore the life out of people and go, here we go again. Or I can just say to them, look, let me quickly show you. Let me show you. And then I bring up this blueprint and I say to them, look, we have a edtech platform that's online that targets entrepreneurs and coaches so that they can be prosperous and have a life of freedom and purpose. Oh, they go, that's great. Now they go, and what do you cover? And I go, oh, what a coincidence that you would ask that question. Because look here in my blueprint, this blueprint's informative. We cover business strategy, we cover smart marketing, we cover building system, and this is based on the 8 tentacles of the octopus. But the octopus does not only have 8 tentacles, it has a big brain as well, and so there is a mindset module in here as well. Oh, they say at the table, that's very interesting. But what's these things around your blueprint? Then I explain to them, well, this edtech platform did not just come together by falling out of the heavens above. We had to source the information ourselves, and we sourced it by traveling to many, many countries, working with many entrepreneurs, and we took in here cultural intelligence, we took in here commercial intelligence from different countries, different industries. We took in creational intelligence, which is really the intelligence coming from nature, simple things like Fibonacci or cyclical intelligence, how the seasons work. And then obviously we took conscious intelligence into account as well, like spiritual laws. That doesn't mean you're going to find it necessarily blatantly in this program, but it has been considered in the development of the program. Now the person go, oh, that's also very interesting, and maybe they want to take it further. So you can do the same for your business with the blueprint. You literally have something here that is put together beautifully. It helps you to explain your business, but it also helps people in a very quick glance to understand what you're doing. You can WhatsApp it to them afterwards. You can email it to them afterwards. You can put it in sales presentations. It's very useful. Now, this is how we've built ours. And the reason we've built this one for worldwide business intelligence this way is because it is an edtech online program. And so we want it to be more like an explain type of blueprint. But as you'll see soon, you get different types of blueprints with different value. This blueprint was developed for our client in Malaysia. They have an international school that they started literally around the table. She started educating her own daughters because her motto in life, Antam, is teach kids right. She says kids are taught wrong in school. And I think more than ever, we've seen it during COVID, you know, resilience skills are not being taught, life skills are not being taught, certain business skills, you feel like you're starting from scratch. What's all this new information? How do I move into this unknown environment? So there's a lot of gaps in our educational system. And so they actually flew to South Africa with one purpose in mind, and that is for us to help them build a blueprint that they can showcase in front of investors, because they're looking for investors. Their international school is now massive. They have Shriyamas and Duyamas. For those of you who don't know about it, go check them out. Shriyamas is S-R-I, and then a separate word, EMAS, E-M-A-S, and Duyamas is D-W-I, separate word, E-M-A-S. They're the ACE Adventure Group. So we really had fantastic conversations with them about how they want to revolutionize the schooling system. And then we came up with the EPOC model. And EPOC stands for the education, potential, and optimization of the competencies of humankind, which in itself can be a TED talk. It's just phenomenal. You know, I see you shake your head there, Melanie. When it dawned on us, we were like, this is probably going to turn out to be the most powerful blueprints because of the way it could change the educational system and humankind. So we named it EPOC. And then if you look there in the middle of the blueprint, explain to a potential investor. And by the way, they decided not to target investors. Ultimately, they decided to target impact investors, which means they're not just going to give money, they actually want to make a difference. And then they won't interfere in the operations of the school. And so you'll see here in the middle, her essence and Tam's is tree wisdom. She's Malaysian, but she's incredibly interested in Celtic tree wisdom, Druid wisdom, which was fascinated for us. And so we put the Celtic tree with the Celtic symbolism there in the middle for her. And now she used that symbolism when a parent who's a potential impact investor sits in front of her and she explains to them how the child grows, how the seeds is sown and how it turns into a stem, and then how the tree bears beautiful fruit. So you can't build these blueprints unless you have something, some essence in there that's really close to your heart, because that's the conversation starter. That's what differentiates you. That's what shows your clients you're special. And that's really what puts your heart into the blueprint. In this case, quite visual. Then she explains with a blueprint here. Look, we do kindergarten, primary, secondary, and academy. So she has in a blueprint the actual product offers for clarity purposes. But then she also explained in her blueprint a very powerful process. So it doesn't matter whether your child's in kindergarten, primary, secondary, or academy. Her blueprint shows you that you're going to go through the first circle first, which is your curriculum. So you're going to learn the stuff first. You're going to learn the modules first. And that's what we always encourage with the Octopus EdTech platform. You know, it's nice to sit on these calls and all, and it's nice to go out there in your networks and all that, but there's certain principles that you have to learn first. And that's the curriculum here. Then after they've learned the principles, they have to go and apply those principles. And then their philosophy is in the application of those principles, you'll build inner strength, global citizenship, business skills, as well as human skills. And then as you apply those over and over again, you'll become a master. And that's where intuition develops, resilience, consciousness, and values. I mean, what a fantastic a blueprint for an international school, and especially for teachers who want to revolutionize the educational system. So here the blueprint serves multiple purposes. It shows essence, products and services, but also the process that the client will be taken through. Right, here's one of our more newest blueprints. This is one of the blueprints from Eric King. Eric developed executive leaders. He develops them from a physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual perspective. But immediately when you look at his blueprint, you can see that he's into martial arts, martial law, spiritual laws. So he brings all that ancient wisdom into his teachings for executives. So you'll see we made use of proper metallic golds in order to attract more of a premium market, but also of the deep royal blues there to put a level of nobility in that, but also to create trust. He is also very, very into the yin and yang symbolism. One of his philosophies is to create balance. So you can see the symbol there above physical as well. He used that symbol in his logo. So he's sort of hidden an aspect of his logo in his blueprint, which you can see there on top of physical, that eternal symbol. And then if you look closely, you can see he is very much a scholar of the teachings of yin and yang. You can see that in the middle. You can also see he's a big scholar of the teachings of the dragon, as well as of the eagle and the phoenix rising. So you'll see there at the top, the dragon energy, and you see there at the bottom, the eagle and the phoenix energy. Now, you know, if I was an executive and I need someone to help me straighten me out and get my body in shape and help me to be in control of my emotions and, you know, my mindset and everything, I can absolutely guarantee you I'll much rather go with this person because they show me that they're versed in the ancient arts. And also I look at this and I know I'm going to have to do something physical here. Whereas a person who's not into martial arts and that type of things will absolutely not be attracted to this blueprint. So the purpose of the blueprint is not to make everyone happy. The purpose of the blueprint is to polarize your niche audience into people that absolutely love your blueprint and people who absolutely pull up their noses and roll their eyes, because it's the one that pull up their noses and roll their eyes that you don't want as clients. And this is part of our strategy to help you qualify people from the first moment they meet you. So you can read their energy with a blueprint. That's what's so amazing. If a person look at your blueprint and go, wow, this is amazing, you're onto a winner here. You're onto a person who's going to resonate very well with you as a client. And if they shuffle around and roll their eyes and, get uncomfortable, it's probably not a person for you. So that's how early in the process you can already start qualifying a person. Okay, so let's move on to another example. I really wanted to give you different examples here so that you can think how you can put your blueprint together. Here we have Sue Fullagood's Energy Incubator. I always call her, and I think she calls herself sometimes the energy guru. She really understands the energy of a person. She speaks from stage, loves trees as well. And it's because if you look there at the tree behind the human form, there's a lot of comparisons and analogies between the human form and human growth and the tree. So she has the tree there at the background. It also allows her to explain to clients how growth takes place and how energy operates. And I mean, she speaks from stage. She's into yoga. She's very good with yoga. And she actually does that exact stand on stage, like literally like that. So it's quite impressive. You see her speak and you're already impressed with her talks about energy, and then she does that, and I wish you can see people's faces, but the fact that it's in her blueprint tells you something about her essence and where she draws her power from. So she's done a bit of a combination here of things. She shows people here on the inner side what she helps them with. You can see she specializes in gut health, in musculoskeletal health, in emotional health. So all the things she can help you with, all the dimensions of health she can help you with, and then also how she does it. She builds, give you insight into body language, high emotional intelligence, communication skills, how to have a presence, how to engage, up your vitality. So it's almost like she combines the what can I do for you with the how I can do it for you. And you can imagine how this blueprint of hers will look if she actually animates it, where the internal circle turns right or clockwise, and the external circle turns anti-clockwise. In fact, I'm going to recommend to her that she does that, just so that it moves and it shows people how the mechanics of it works and how it works together. So there's another one. You can see her colors is definitely well-being. Corporates get her for well-being. So if you're not into well-being or into the environment, you want to steer away from these colors. But she is. You'll also see some symbolism there, faded away in her blueprint, which is another level of a conversation for her and to explain to people what she's about. This one, many of you know, this is the Circle of Excellence blueprint. This has a few things in there as well. Probably the biggest one is, talking there about a trusted global community. So helping people have that sense of belonging. Then we also have in there the compass. We use the compass to tell people not only that we love travel and that we travelers ourselves, but also to tell people that we do work in the north, south, east, and west, with the north representative of mental capacity and building your mentality, in the east building your physicality and your energy, in the south building your emotional wellness, and in the east helping you to dance in the unknown. We also specifically have the colors of black and gold in there, because black, gold, and silver or platinum is the colors of a credit card. And so if you're working with CEOs or executives or leaders, they see those colors every day. They see the blacks, they see the golds, they see the silver. And so this gives them a sense of familiarity and would naturally attract them when they see that. I want to quickly take you back to this one for interest sake. This is the one we built for Ann Tam. We did some study on her target market, and we discovered that these impact investors that she wants to attract into her environment are mostly the parents of the children that comes to her school. And we asked an interesting question for Anne. We said, Anne, what is a common denominator between all these parents that you have picked up on that made you go, wow, that's weird? And she said, well, most of them drive Mercedes-Benz. So we went and we took inspiration from the Mercedes-Benz corporate colors, and we built it in here to give those impact investors, those parents, a sense of familiarity and trust when they deal with Anne. So in a nutshell, if you want to take a screenshot of this and you really want to ask yourself, why should I build a blueprint for my business? You know, this can literally replace an explainer video. An explainer video is very costly. It takes time to put together, whereas this can be your little explainer video. You can show it to people and you can explain it yourself. You know, you don't stand there with your elevator pitch and try and remember stuff and get nervous and have a dry mouth. You literally show it to them. And as you show it to them, your energy grows and your passion grows, and you're sharing about yourself and what you can do for people. So it explains to them, you know, it's one thing to tell people that you're a HR consultant or an employee engagement consultant or a activist for people who's going through a tough time, or a software consultant. It's quite different to explain that than to show it to people, because when you explain it to a person, you activate the left side of the brain. When you show it to them, you activate the right side of the brain. So when you explain it to them and you show it to them at the same time, the entire brain is activated. Also, you can explain to people your offerings, your products and services. People are coming up with seriously creative offers and products and services at the moment, but confuse people sometimes, because you may have it perfect in your head, but no one else knows what you're talking about. So to have it visually on a blueprint is very valuable. It helps you to differentiate. People think you differentiate by using the color red if other people are using the color green, or you differentiate by having an extra product that other people don't have, or you differentiate with a specific target market. Now, even though all those things are true, it's ultimately your essence that's going to differentiate you. The dragon and the eagle in the middle of your blueprint, the tree in the middle of your blueprint, the octopus in the middle of your blueprint. That's the type of things that make people go, what's that about? What does that mean? What does it symbolize? What are you trying to tell me? And then when you tell them your story, who you are, where you come from, why you, the only person who's really qualified based on your life experience to deliver these products and services, a big aha moment happens for them. And that's when you start actually attracting people that you want to work with, people that's like you. So, I mean, if you have animals all over your blueprint, guess what? You're going to attract animal lovers. I mean, our octopus logo with the octopus and the Celtic symbolism, we're blown away how many clients we're attracting with Celtic background, and that's into sacred symbolism and that loves animals. So it definitely has an effect. Higher pricing. I cannot tell you how many times I've seen people able to price their products not double, but sometimes even triple. Consulting fees going up massively because they have this blueprint. There's various reasons for that. The coloring in the blueprint definitely has the capacity to attract more of a premium person, more of a higher payer. You know, if you see gold and silver, you know you're not going to pay a matte brown price. You know, you're going to pay a gold and a silver price. And, you know, your blueprint doesn't have to look like an Egyptian statue, but even hints of silver and hints of gold in that makes quite a difference. Also, as I said, it reminds them of the credit cards and the premium colors. When you go to premium brands online, you do see the blacks, you do see the golds and silvers. It has more authority. Then, of course, you know, your blueprint can't look great, but then your website look crap. So you want to sort of, you know, make sure if your blueprint's at a certain standard, then your websites as well. But people get attracted to that feel, and it gives them the impression of quality. Also, it allows you to do higher pricing, because when you put a blueprint on a sales presentation, or you present it to a boardroom, or explain it at a meeting, or even have it printed on a banner, you give people substance. You give them something they can look at. If you put it on a banner, they can actually feel it. If you print it on a book, it gives them even more substance. But more important than anything, you're giving them technology. They see that you have a specific process in place for your clients, and your intellectual property becomes tangible. So the value of your business goes up, the value of your products and services go up, the value of your offer go up, and the perceived value of you go up as well. So I'm always fascinated how people leave the blueprint for last. It's something that can sometimes overwhelm them. So they just don't stick with the process and leave it behind. Whereas this is one of the key things that will actually up your business. Then also it's an icebreaker. Like I said, who wants to do an elevator pitch? I was making many jokes this weekend over memory and how I have to look after my memory and how I'm stocking up on my B12. But, I don't like a elevator pitch. I don't like standing there now. I have to remember point 1, 2, and 3. It doesn't feel natural. It doesn't feel organic. It freaks people out. So, by showing people a blueprint, a conversation starts. It's more fun. It's more natural. It's more organic. It's less salesy. And then, of course, you presenting people with technology. You're saying to them, look, if you take all my years of experience, and if you take all of my qualifications, and if you take all of the exposure I've had, all my travel, all my preferences, all my loves, all my loathes, I'm trying to express this in a blueprint so that you know what type of individual you're dealing with, and I'm expressing it to you in the form of technology. Right, so what we have here now is, let me just go one back. We have a checklist here for you that's actually gonna help you to see whether your blueprint is up to standard. So this would be for those of you who's already got a draft blueprint in place, or Paula, or those of you who have a finished blueprint and you want to maybe go to your next level, or maybe you've just been listening to this and I can give you a little bit more context around it. So this blueprint design quality checklist, please, you're very welcome to take a picture of this, or otherwise you can just go into your Octopus EdTech platform and you'll find it in there as well. So this is the design quality checklist. The first thing you want to do if you check if your blueprint is up to standard is you want to have a proper name for your blueprint. This one here is called the Worldwide Business Intelligence Blueprint. Very simple and straightforward, but a very strategic play with keywords there, because we're telling people that the intelligence in here is worldwide sourced, but also applicable to audiences worldwide. It also tells you that it's about business and business solutions. It also tells you it's intelligence. Information is just information. It's just knowledge. Intelligence means it's been through the ropes. It's tried and tested and it's worked. So, and then it's a blueprint. And note the TM sign, the trademark sign behind that, which also gives the impression of this is not just information. This is science. This is technology. This is intellectual property. So go and check out if your blueprint has a proper name and that your name is visible in your blueprint as well. Next, you have to put in your value proposition. What is the value that you're actually going to present people with? This one got 3 keywords in here. That very powerfully tell people what the value is that they're going to get out of it. It's also an explanation of their business to people. So people may say, what do you do? And Eric go da-da-da-da-da-da. And then they may go, so what is the value you provide? And he'll go, look, first and foremost, I'll give you direction. Many people don't know where to start, where to go, where step 1 is. Second of all, I'll look at your resources that you currently have, physically, mentally, spiritually and emotionally, and I'll optimize that for you. And then I'll bring a lot of this dragon and phoenix transformational yin and yang wisdom into your life. Do you see how easy it is for Eric to explain his value just because he has this blueprint here in front of him and because he's really thought about those 3 words? And then he can take them on to the inner circle if they want more information. And I mean, his dots and symbols here all has meaning, which helps him to have a conversation with a person. You can also provide people with your 3-dimensional solution. The 3-dimensional solution, just to give you a quick overview, is what value will Circle of Excellence here add to you from a monetary perspective? What value will it give you from a social perspective? And what value will it give you from a technology or intellectual property or how to step-by-step perspective? So the first one is their prosperity. The monetary value that we're giving you here is you'll have prosperity in your business, in your life, in your family. Prosperity is so much more than just money. The second value there from a social perspective is that you will feel you have purpose. That's one there on the right-hand side. So you'll be able to live yourself, your life with purpose. You'll be able to get up with purpose. You'll be able to talk to people about your purpose. You'll be able to connect with people with your purpose. You'll be able to socially influence with your purpose. And then from a technology and how to perspective, the Circle of Excellence will give you freedom or freedom formulas to do what you want to do when you want to do it. It will help you scale your business. It will help you to have the freedom to hang out with who you want. It will give you those formulas that's required for you to go to the next level. It can explain the customer journey, the way we've done here of the Circle of Excellence. Here we tell our Circle of Excellence very clearly what their 13-week program is going to look like. You'll see there on the right-hand side, they can see they're going to go on a positioning journey. That's going to be clarity, reputation, and packaging, week 1, week 2, week 3. Then we're going to take you on a sales and marketing journey, week 4, 5, and 6. Then we're going to take you on a self-mastery journey, 7, 8, and 9, and so on, and so on, and so on. So it actually helps us to explain the Circle of Excellence 13-week premium journey, and then people know exactly what they can expect before Mike takes them into a much deeper and complex sales presentation. This is especially useful for those of you who's new in sales and want to start that sales conversation, but don't feel too comfortable doing it. You can literally build that into that. Now, I've had some conversations with some of you here about assessments as well. This is a very a nice style if you want to use your blueprint as an assessment. If you're sitting with a person and you want to say, let's assess your clarity, we'll assess your reputation, we'll assess your packaging. This is a stunning conversation starter for corporates, especially if you're trying to get into the boardroom and they say, well, what you're going to do for me? And you say, look, here's my blueprint, the half an hour or hour I'm going to spend with you, or the day, I'm going to assess the following things, and I'm going to give you an assessment report. You can use your blueprint for that as well. You can have your blueprint, make sure it shows you the person who look at it, make sure they can see the essence in there. You know, I don't have to talk to the person whose blueprint this is to see how important the bodily form is for them. I don't have to talk to them to know that they're into trees and nature. And I also don't have to talk to them to know they're into symbolism and wellness because of the greens and the softness of this, but also that they work with premium audiences because of the black and the silver in there, which is a more subtle matte. So it's not over the top, but it is in there nevertheless. So make sure when you have your blueprint that people can see a symbol of your essence in there. Now, for sure, you won't be able to build everything into the blueprint because I'm giving you different blueprints here, but the closer you can get to ticking off this checklist, the more you optimizing your blueprint and making it work for you and not the other way around. So now we're going to the next part, which is story value. This blueprint, I told you a story. I explained to you how Ann Tam want to teach kids right. I explained to you that she's Malaysian, but she's into Celtic symbolism. She would sit and explain to a parent how she's going to grow the child like a tree. So it has very good story value in there. She may even bring some of the druid wisdom or tree wisdom in here. So fantastic story. And because her blueprint is built with curriculum, and then you go to the blue circle and then to the black circle, it also has story value in terms of the progress that your child will make. So you'll see, look, in the beginning, your child's going to be frustrated because they're going to have to learn the curriculum, the basics. Then in the blue circle, they're going to have to go and apply that and master that. And when they've mastered it, they'll have the skills that's in the black circle. That also helps and manage parent expectations so that they don't expect results in year 1 or in the curriculum circle, so that they know what path their child's going to go on. So make sure your blueprint is multi-platform friendly. When you look here on my checklist, you know, a blueprint don't have to be round. You can see 2 blueprints here on my checklist. The one is a bit more square. It has a circle in the middle, but then it has some forms on the outside. There's no rules. I like the round blueprint because it is multi-platform friendly. It can sit in a logo, it can sit easily on websites. It's beautiful to use in sales presentations, and but you don't have to do that. You can build blueprints that is square. You can have your blueprints built on a slide. You know, I had a client in Australia whose blueprint was built in the form of a gloss map that got rolled up and was thrown on boardroom tables. You have people building three-dimensional blueprints. You can have blueprint built in the form of like Ryan and Mandy have mountains that their blueprints is in and stuff like that. So really there's no rules. I just like to have the blueprint round. I do recommend that if you have a blueprint that's not round, that you maybe have a version of your blueprint that fits on a slide that's square or different, and then a version of that blueprint that fits into a round format. So you can really play around with that. If you want to get the ultimate results, especially if you're not doing too much work online and you're craving people and you're going back into the networking scene offline, I couldn't recommend more that you build a three-dimensional actual prototype blueprint. And you know, that is something that someone like Philippe Gachard, who's incredible with product development and prototypes and whatever, probably can help you with. And then make sure your blueprint is print friendly. You know, I love my metallics, I love my golds, I love my silvers. I think it looks the best online, and I think it looks the best on sales presentations. But you may want to print your blueprint on jackets or clothing. The metallics work on gloss brochures beautifully. It works beautifully on business cards and things like that, but it doesn't always work on clothes unless you want to embroider the golds and the silvers. But if you're the type of person who needs to print a lot on clothing, whatever, tone down with the metallics and make sure that your blueprint is print friendly. Although most people do not necessarily print the blueprints on clothing, they print more their logos. But I mean, you can imagine a blueprint like the one with the dragon and the phoenix can look stunning on a clothing or a bag, whatever. So when you design it, take into account that you're going to have to use it online, you're going to have to use it on print material, gloss things, business cards, that type of thing, and maybe even on clothing. For us, if our blueprints will not get printed on clothing, and if we do want to print, for example, the octopus on clothing, we'll get it properly foil stamped, or we'll get it embroidered in those colors to keep the silver and to keep the gold in there. It just makes the exercise a little bit more expensive. And then please make sure you get a professional designer. This one is Liv Conlon blueprint. She's at the moment in Spain, but she's from Scotland. She has the thought leader method. Me and her worked together on this blueprint, but she got it ultimately designed by her designer. And I just think it's so beautifully and clean designed. And that really is the difference between a blueprint, for example, that's done on Canva or done by yourself, which can only take you to a certain level. And then at some stage, it needs to be handed over to the designer, because the actual thought and strategy and design of the blueprint ultimately is just as important as the beautiful design of the blueprint. So that's basically my blueprint story here. I hope this checklist was helpful for you, because many of you already have blueprints. You maybe in a year from now want to upgrade. Many of you are in concept phase, you're only designing and you're overwhelmed, you're going, what the hell, what now? And this checklist will be useful for you. And some of you has never had a blueprint before, and you're going, look, I want to get it right, and hopefully that will be useful as well. So now I'm going to ask you to unmute and ask me some questions about the blueprint. Maybe you want to share with me your blueprint. Maybe you want to share your blueprint with others on the call so that they can have a look. But before we get into that, I'm just going to stop the recording and stop the share. So for those of you who are listening to the recording, we're going to in Q&A, and thank you for joining us.